information. We are in May, and May shall be good unto us by the grace and the mercies of the Lord Almighty. Let us be great. Let us be greater than our yesterday. And may our tomorrow be far beyond what we can imagine by the mercies and the will of the God Almighty. Daily reminder, like I always say, look into Bitcoin and blockchain development. I don't know if you guys had heard this in the media, but I'll drop it, anyways. BOJ. When I say BOJ, some of you know, BOG. Some say Jane, Yes, that is the Bank of Ghana. They are now already in talks on the regulation of cryptocurrency. So if the Bank of Ghana is now working on regulating crypto, ask yourself, where do you stand? Why are you standing? If you're a developer, where do you stand? If crypto is being regulated, that means companies, industries are going to be interacting with blockchain. Who's going to be creating those smart contracts for them on the blockchain when they want to create their own private networks? Who's going to be debugging their codes for them? You see, learn skills as a developer. And if you're an institution yourself and you're not trying to embrace this technology, you're going to slack, you're going to die. Because it's almost like now, this era, when you run a business here in Ghana and you don't have more, like, you see that things like Ghana here now, you can't do anything without Momo. There was a time before, it was just post office, send your money through postal addresses. Then it became more of a banking thing and the remittance thing. The remittance thing was like coming in from those time of MoneyGram, Western Union, they send you the money, you go say they go jail, like they ask you a bunch of questions, some are even unnecessary, just for you to get the money, like someone, a loved one sent from a Punichu baby, you understand, overseas or somewhere. It was crazy, those times it was crazy. It's like sometimes you're going to take the money, it's like they are looking at you up and down, like the dress you're wearing. It's like to see if you seem fit to be able to receive that amount of money. It was crazy, It was crazy. Those times were crazy, Some had even happened to us a time ago, like those times, going to withdraw the money, it's like the process. Then fast forward, banking, mobile banking then became more of a thing whereby it wasn't like, hell no, it's like, now we now have to be going back and forth. And when the mobile banking, boom came, then Momo was then integrated. And you saw the process. It streamlined that Wahana of always having to go to the bank to go through the online, which is a Momo. And one thing people have to understand is I just shared the post the other. When was that? When I asked, what is Bitcoin and what is a digital currency? Bitcoin is a category under digital currency. Momo is a digital transaction medium for sending currencies digitally. So whenever I'm sending you 500 cedis on Momo, I am sending you a digital version of the cedis. Think of it. And that's why sometimes I wonder, like, Ghana, what is stopping you, like the state itself, from beginning to explore blockchain? Because now your money, cedis, is already circulating on the internet, because more is digital. So the question now is, how are you even tracking it? Like, how are you tracking the inflows and the outflows of your money digitally on the internet? Because it seems you don't even have an oversight over your money in the internet, realm, something like that. And blockchain is also here. It gives you the immutability, the traceability, the pseudonymity, whatever you're looking for, the trustless, permissionless network. So it's an opportunity for Ghana. And I get to remind you, so if you have been watching me on the internet, I don't mind. I don't mind you not following. All I just want from you is just view this video, and maybe it might be impactful for you. Maybe you might find something, you might learn something. It might not be useful for you today, but it's going to be useful somewhere along the line. Because when you begin to think about what I am saying, you notice that there's a lot of opportunities there for you. Inflation is constantly going to be eating our currencies. So how do we protect ourselves? And that's why you say you can buy gold. And even recently, as we are talking about finance, I don't know if you have been hearing in the news that, how do we say this? One of the biggest mines here in Ghana, which is somewhere in the Western region, has now fully been taken over by the Ghanaian government economy. So it's now fully run. It was once in the foreigners' hands for about 30 years. 30 years. And for those 30 years, they were taking majority of the shares of the gold that were being mined. And so, which is one of the ways, if you want to create wealth, you want to preserve, that's the thing, store. Because as you're working, you're making money. You're doing the 9 to 5, the pump, or whatever you're doing, you're making money. But now, how to make sure that the money, the value and the purchasing power of the money stays, consistent and appreciates over time. Because if you're growing, and your purchasing power, which is your energy that you used to work, which is now being contained in money, is not going with you, and inflation is eating. The inflation also almost becomes like this. Think of it like this analogy. You've bought a loaf of bread, and it is in your room, and inflation is a rat.